What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we jump ahead about 6 months in the MCU timeline to discuss 2010's Iron Man 2, starring Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Scarlett Johansson, Sam Rockwell, Mickey Rourke, and Samuel L. Jackson. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, we're going to move ahead about 6 months in the MCU timeline and discuss Iron Man 2. Let's get right into it here, shall we? Now, our movie opens in Russia as the media's coverage of Tony Stark's revealing of himself as Iron Man, as Anton Vanko, a former employee of Stark Industries and the father of Ivan Vanko, watches just before he passes away. Ivan Vanko witnesses this and then begins to build a miniature arc reactor similar to Stark's. We then flash forward about 6 months where Tony Stark is a superstar and uses his Iron Man suit for peaceful means, as he resists government pressure to sell his designs. Now, as a way to continue the legacy of his father, Howard Stark, Tony reinstitutes the Stark Expo in New York City. A little while later, Tony learns that the palladium core in the arc reactor that keeps him alive and powers the suit is slowly poisoning him, with Tony unable to find a decent substitute. As a result, Tony has been becoming increasingly reckless and despondent about his impending death, choosing not to tell anyone about his condition. Tony decides to appoint his personal assistant, Pepper Potts, as the CEO of Stark Industries, and Pepper decides to hire Stark employee Natalie Rushman to take her personal assistant position. Tony then decides to compete in the Monaco Historic Grand Prix, where he is attacked mid-race by Ivan Vanko, who is wielding electrified whips. Tony jumps into action and dons his Iron Man armor and defeats Vanko, but his suit gets severely damaged. Vanko explains to Tony that his intention was to prove to the world that the Iron Man is not invincible. Impressed by Vanko's performance, Justin Hammer, a rival of Tony's, fakes Vanko's death while breaking him out of prison. Hammer then asks Vanko to build him a line of armored suits as an attempt to upstage Stark. During what he believes is going to be his final birthday party, Tony gets wasted while wearing the Iron Man suit. Disgusted at Tony's behavior, his best friend, U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, dons Stark's prototype armor and tries to restrain him. The fight eventually ends in a stalemate, and Rhodes confiscates the armor for the U.S. Air Force. Meanwhile, Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., finds Stark and tries to appeal to his senses. Fury reveals that Natalie Rushman is actually Agent Natasha Romanoff, and that Howard Stark was a S.H.I.E.L.D. founder whom Fury personally knew. Fury goes on to explain that Anton Vanko and Howard Stark invented the arc reactor together, but when Anton tried to sell it, Howard had him deported, and the Soviets sent Anton to the Gulag. Fury then gives Tony some of his father's old belongings, which includes an old reel-to-reel video message. In the video message, Tony is able to discover a hidden message in the diorama of the 1974 Stark Expo, as it proves to be a diagram of an atomic structure for a new element. With the assistance of Tony's AI, Jarvis, he is able to synthesize it, and when Tony discovers that Ivan Vanko is still alive, he places the new element into his arc reactor, which in turn ends his palladium dependency. At the current Stark Expo, Hammer unveils Vanko's armored drones, led by Colonel Rhodes in a heavily weaponized version of the prototype armor. Vanko then takes remote control of all the drones and Rhodes' armor and attacks Iron Man. Hammer ends up getting arrested for breaking Vanko out of prison, while Romanoff and Happy Hogan, Stark's bodyguard, go after Vanko at Hammer's factory. Vanko is able to escape, but Romanoff is able to override the system and give Rhodes back control of his armor. Together, Stark and Rhodes are able to defeat Vanko and his drones. Vanko then commits suicide by blowing up his suit along with the defeated drones, and our film draws to its conclusion with a debriefing where Nick Fury tells Stark that because of his difficult personality, S.H.I.E.L.D. intends to only use him as a consultant, and Tony and Colonel Rhodes receive medals from Senator Stern for their heroism. During a post-credit scene, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson reports the discovery of a large hammer at the bottom of a crater in the New Mexico desert. Now, of course, this post-credit scene is a setup to Thor, which actually came next in release date, as The Incredible Hulk was sandwiched between the two Iron Man films. But if you go in the MCU timeline order, it goes Iron Man 2, and then Hulk. Because if you think about the end of Hulk, when Tony walks in and talks to General Ross, he's doing so in the role of a consultant, which is what he's just been named here by Nick Fury, is that S.H.I.E.L.D. only wants to keep Stark on as a consultant right now. Now, in my opinion, when you really look at this film, while watching them in release order, I've always felt that this, Iron Man 2, is really where everything started to come together in the MCU. You have Captain America's S.H.I.E.L.D., the introduction of Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, Agent Coulson finding Thor's hammer in the mid-credit scene. It's just as if everything seemed to click on every level. You know, when they did Iron Man, they were hoping, but they didn't know if it was going to be as huge as it became. So they didn't really do too much with that one. Incredible Hulk, same kind of thing. You know, the 2003 Hulk bombed so badly. What was going to happen with this one? But once Iron Man was successful and a sequel got greenlit, they really started, in my opinion, to put everything together for what would eventually become the Avengers, which we'll get to in a couple of days. Like I said, you've got Cap's shield, the introduction of Black Widow, Coulson finding Thor's hammer. Everything just kind of seemed to start steamrolling there, in my opinion, once we got to this film. A lot of people crap on Iron Man 2, and specifically Whiplash, you know, Ivan Vanko, Mickey Rourke's character. I would love to see some of the cutting room floor stuff that got cut out of this, because Mickey Rourke has said more than once that some of his best material got left on the cutting room floor. I would love to see some of that, because I personally Not, considering that I'm not a comic book fan, I'm a movie fan. So I don't have reference of what happened with these stories in the comics. I didn't think Mickey Rourke's Whiplash was that bad. I know a lot of people don't like it. And as we always say, subjective. We can agree to disagree. But it would be interesting to see some of that stuff that was left on the cutting room floor, and would it have made his role and his character better? Because I enjoy Iron Man 2, almost on the same level that I enjoy Iron Man. I gave the original Iron Man 4.5 stars. I'm going to give Iron Man 2 4 stars out of 5. If for no other reason, but like I talked about a few minutes ago, the way everything started clicking together, and you could see that there was something bigger that was coming. We already had Iron Man, we already had Hulk. And within this film, we got War Machine, we got Black Widow, we got Cap's shield, we got Mjolnir in the middle of the desert. So much there in the greater, grander picture of things that was brought to us in this film, that I think that gets overlooked sometimes because everybody wants to dwell on the failure of Whiplash. 4 out of 5 stars, though, for me. What do you guys think of Iron Man 2? If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts over here. If you're watching on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But whatever you do, make sure you guys get out there on social media. Try to get those hashtags trending, man. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag StatBoyApproved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network, 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, and more. Hey, it's summertime, it's barbecues, beach parties, pool parties. Go onto the website, get you a tank top. You can choose between Meachamania and the Renegade JJ Williams. It's the perfect accessory for any of those summer shenanigans. But get out there, show your love and support. While you're showing your love and support, do what that ticker tells you to do. Do you enjoy my content? Do you enjoy my daily videos? If so, go to that PayPal. Send me a little donation, a couple bucks, just as a thank you for all my hard work. I'm not monetized, guys, but I'm out here every day in triple-digit heat in my garage studio trying to bring you guys brand new videos and daily content. So if you enjoy my hard work and my dedication and my drive and determination, then go to that PayPal link, like I said, and send me a couple bucks. Don't want to send money? Go to that link tree right there, click on the link for my Amazon movie wish list, pick a film. I'm constantly updating it. When it comes and I open it live on Renegade Recap, I'll give you guys a shout out. And then when I factor it into one of my theme months and get to actually sit down, watch it, and review it, I'll give you guys another shout out. And I'll show you guys all the exact same amount of love and support that you guys show me. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews as we go back to 2008 and revisit the big green guy with the Incredible Hulk, starring Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, Tim Roth, Tim Blake Nelson, and William Hurt. Plus, of course, the cameo at the end by Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. So make sure you're back here tomorrow for another brand new installment when I discuss the Incredible Hulk. You're not going to want to miss it. All my loyal viewers out there that tuned in during the premiere, leaving your comments over here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. All my loyal viewers that tuned in a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all of my loyal fans and viewers that tune in right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel on a daily basis. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.